Hello and welcome to Taku Katsu. This is the podcast where we review anime episodes, first episodes, new and old, and I do my best to sound like I know Japanese. And Patrick stares at me and says no. This week we are watching Grenadier, which is a knockoff anime of Trigun. This is the fourth episode in our series of 6 of original anime plus their derivatives. I present to you the one and only Sailor Senshi, Vicky.
I too would end a fight with just a smile, but also a sword and a gun.
And you're a mercenary for hire. Well, that is a mercenary, isn't it? You're soldier for hire, Patrick.
Yes, I am also willing to conquer the world with this lady. And, if other things happen, it's also good.
Like what? Like some kind of
hot springs. Go on hot springs.
Some kind
there
of
we go.
Situation.
Nope. Lots of hot springs.
Bubbles.
Just hot water.
Yes.
Just the hottest water. Okay.
The hottest water.
Let's get started. So we watched Trigun last week. Trigun is good. May not be the world's greatest anime, but it is a good one, and I like it quite a bit. This show I watched back when it aired in 2004, 2005.
Ooh.
And I can say this about it. It looks like they found a way to make cheap computer graphics animation, and that's what they did. It really is. So, Patrick, what did you like about this show?
Honestly, I liked all the gunplay. That's probably the best part of it. It really reminded me of like the Super Nintendo Western game where you're shooting. I forgot what the game is called. Where you play as cowboys. God, it's such a good classic.
Cowboys with mechs or just cowboys?
It's cowboys, and it's kind of like an arcade type of game as well. But
Super Nintendo.
Yes, it was just a Western cowboy, and I just love all the action in it. I mean, as far as the gunplay goes, like that was just fun, and it had all those nostalgic sounds and like those little shooting pistols and the pa-ching. It was just so classic. Other than that, I'm not totally sure what I like about the show. Okay, here's the thing I like about the show. It reminded me if I was playing like a Japanese RPG game. Like the opening itself, even the art style, it felt like I was watching a bunch of cutscenes together. I don't know if it was like during the era of this 2004, but the animation style and everything, I was like, am I watching cutscenes through a video game? That's what it reminded me a lot. It had a weird specific.
Soccer Wars, but that's not what you're talking about.
No, I'm
Wild
not that one. Wild Arms, she got it. That's the best one.
That's the best.
This is ecchi Wild Arms, pretty much. But it's that. But okay, what I like about the show, it's ecchi without it being like secretive. Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's just out there, and you're like, okay, you get it. Like it's not even trying to be like, ooh, look at this, or like special sparkly lines. It's like, oh, it's like a natural thing. It's like you watch it and like, got it. Goku's got nipples, something like that.
That's how I felt. Something. I didn't introduce myself at all, did I?
You are the teacher that teaches us to resolve our fights with just a smile.
There you go.
Oh my lord.
He's our mentor.
Yeah. So that was Patrick and Vicky, and I'm Cori, and let's go to Vicky. Vicky, what did you like about this anime?
I too liked the premise that like we got this girl who's great at a gun, and like she gets serious, and like that's when shit goes down. Like the fact that she could shoot a rock in such a way that the trajectory of a rock from that breaking would hit a dude and trip him to not blow himself up. That was pretty cool. Or like the shot the shots from like a mile away that made a dude's clothes all fall off. That was pretty cool. I like the character. I appreciate that she is. I almost said well formed, but
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Look, that is a body shape that cannot be hated by many.
I dislike her shape because I'm like, come on, at least make it somewhat realistic. Like
Nope.
she would just fall in half.
Nope.
But I did appreciate that she was basically like a female Bash.
Yeah.
Yes.
That actually draws her gun.
Literally the best part is that she is Vash and Stampede, but a lady.
But she also actually fires. Well, a lot of the action is introduced in the first episode. Like Vash is like they both have the same like happy-go-lucky attitude. Don't want to kill anyone with fighting. She didn't kill anyone in this episode. She avoided their vital organs, but she actually uses the gun. Yeah. And I need to mention the best part is all the reloading.
Yep, I told you about
reloading sequences.
Did I not tell you about it?
Okay, I'm sorry to take
no,
over, but honestly, the reloading sequences are just amazing.
Did I not tell you about it?
Come on now, like you watch it just for that.
Tell you? Did I not warn you?
And let me say, there were a lot of reloading sequences.
There was a lot of bullets needing to be reloaded.
There you go.
Which again was pretty slick. Like I appreciate the action sequences.
In a what was that movie where Angelina Jolie?
Oh my God, you carving the bullet.
Yeah. The bullet. No, was it Wanted or was it something else? Maybe it was Wanted.
With the guy and he was breaking a keyboard.
It's the same guy who John McAvoy. He was in that before I knew who he was because he's Professor X forever now, other than John Patrick Stewart. But anyway, that specifically is the same kind of stupid cool as her reloading her gun. It's the exact same amount of stupid cool.
I had to watch in awe when she just started fitting in place as they're shooting at her. I'm like, they can. You're just in the same place. But it was cool, but it was stupid.
I tried and failed to make an AMV with this anime. It's so bad. I tried so hard. And I've mentioned this at least to you two off recording before. I have tried. There's a very specific song that I love. It is not super long. It's got an amazing kind of sitar sound to it by Yuki Kajura. It's like 2 minutes long, and I have tried and failed multiple times to make a song or an AMV that matches that song. And I was like twirling boob reloading. Maybe nope, it wasn't good enough. There's got to be more, and I haven't cracked that nut, and I have not made an AMV since. What else did you like, Vicky?
Oh man, that's about it. I actually did like that as a first episode. This grabbed my attention more and faster than Trigun.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, I don't know what it is, but basically it had the exact same premise. Big guy.
Yep, the big guy. Oh my goodness. His weapon is weird.
Out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yes. It was everything that Trigun had, but with ecchi and lower quality animation for the time, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
And I did like when she was hiding the samurai. Like, I was like, is he underwater? And then he was underwater. And then she just embraced, and I was like Patrick was saying, they embrace the ecchi. Like, there's no shying away from like, oh, it's just like, here you are. I'm going to protect you with my bosom. She even says.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I didn't do any of the wow, that sound or like the sparkle. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, okay, that's a thing. They're just, that's it.
Or as skinny as she was, her boobs were able to cover his whole body while he's over here half drowning. It makes no sense.
It was interesting the way they did those scenes. But that's about
her chest probably weighs the entire weight of the rest of her body.
Yeah, for sure. She would not exist in real life. She would be broken in half.
Oh no, she exists. It's called plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some people.
Yeah.
And corsets.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Like she has no waist. No waist. Her hips are almost the same width of her waist. And then her chest is just humongous.
Just unnecessary. But
unbalanced.
You know,
bad design, God.
It's a silhouette, I guess.
It's a silhouette.
You definitely recognize that's a good character design though. If you could recognize them in the silhouettes, that's actually a sign of a good character design.
Theoretically, but I mean, you two have never even heard of this character before me, right?
No.
Yeah, that not good enough. Not good enough. Okay, so I just wrote the power of baths. That's what I wrote for what I like. It is unapologetically ecchi. It's not like a 6. It's like a 5. But it's like a really happy 5. It's like, look, you're not going to see any nipples. You may get a panty shot. I don't remember. But you're going to see her in a bath every episode. I am certain of it. I've not watched the show in years, but I am 99.99% sure that she is in a bath scene, in a hot spring specifically, every episode.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And there's only like 12 episodes. It is they said we're gonna make it, we're done. Yeah, they did what they wanted with this.
I don't know the purpose of the anime, like what her mission is, but I just know onsens are part of it.
Yeah.
Gotta get those hot springs.
I didn't watch the whole show again, but I did watch it years ago, and I recommended it because it is Vash the Stampede, but a girl. It is that. I was gonna say that the animation is poor, which I think it is, but her ricochet bullet thing was pretty cool. Her ability to shoot good is pretty cool. I know. She bends bullets good. But other than that, they spend a lot of good time animating her twirling in a circle. So if I have not explained it or whatever at this point, here's what happens in Grenadier, which does not mean person who shoots guns. Anyway, what happens in Grenadier, grenades, is specifically she is hanging out in a hot spring. Is that right? In the beginning of the episode?
Yeah.
And then okay, so in the beginning of the episode, you meet a samurai and a bunch of other samurai mercenaries trying to free their lord from occupying force to kidnap their lord, and that occupying force has a buttload of guns. So, you know, what happens when dudes in a castle have guns and the dudes attacking the castle have swords? The dudes with swords die. So they shot up the dudes, then the guy leaves, he finds her, he gets saved by her, and she's like, I want to stop battles with a smile. She doesn't want to kill people. Vash the Stampede. So then he goes back to attack the castle. The way she's going, she has to go through the castle. She tries to disarm them with a smile. It doesn't work. She gets mad, and she starts shooting stuff. She doesn't kill anybody, but she shoots a lot of stuff. And the way that she shoots stuff is she's got a six shooter. She shoots her bullets. Oh, by the way, I counted the bullets. Didn't make sense. Anyway.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like I was like, for a show that's like bam, 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 I gotta reload my 6 bullets. They didn't count the bullets.
Especially when they bring up the point that it's a 6-shooter, and I was like, she was popping off shots like it was like a machine gun.
Right.
And then they bring up that it's a 6-shooter.
And here's the thing. For a show that definitely put all of its money into watching her reload her gun, they should have counted bullets. Right? True. They should count bullets like Deadpool in the beginning of Deadpool every time. Like it should just be like bam, 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 reload, and then they do a canned animation just like it's she calls herself a Senshi, Sailor Senshi, Sailor Moon. Same animation, do it every time, every episode, 4 or 5 times. I'm doing my Sailor Scout move, twirls around, and this is the funniest part. This is the only reason you watch this anime, other than the fact that it's Trigun but a lady. Bullets pop out of her cleavage. and she twirls to catch them in her gun, which again is stupid cool. And then bam, 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 6 more bullets. And then she just do it every time. Every time. She should just bam, bam. I'm pretty sure there's an episode later on where she's like in a towel and she has to do it again. Just to like reload with it. And
they just come out of nowhere.
They're in her cleavage somehow.
She just carries bullets. Because she did it more than once.
And not only does she carry bullets, she carries multiple reloads of bullets. And she can somehow control them with her boobs to like pop out 6 at a time that she can bounce it. Because they always jiggle. It's always a Gynax bounce type thing going on. And then she twirls and they're in the air and she unloads her gun, empties out the cartridges, and then catches 6 bullets perfectly. And then bam, 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 bam. Which again, stupid cool.
Right. Like you're gonna be looking for the dumb ways how she's going to reload.
It saves money on animation. Because you use canned animation every time. Right?
Well, speaking of saving money on animation, I'm pretty sure they reused a shot where she shot 3 dudes with guns.
Oh,
and then shot 3 more dudes with guns.
Absolutely. Like, you could see it shot for shot. It was like, bop, 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 bop. Like, she points at... Because it was that obvious. It wasn't even, like, obscured. They didn't even, like, flip the image. Like, that would be a really cheap one. Just flip the image so it looks different. It was the same. Because I was watching, I'm like, that's the same?
That got me too.
And again, because I've seen it before, even though it was like literally 20 years ago, I was thinking like, they're going to reuse this. Like I felt it in the force. And they did. It's a cheap show. And they still didn't like cheap out on everything. So yeah, I thought the etchiness is pretty, it's fun. It's fun. It's like PG-13.
Like a old PG.
And on a little bit. Well, we'll see. I don't think it's gonna get worse than this. It's pretty out there. It's out there.
I'm pretty sure it won't. I think I do get real. Now that I'm older, I am really a little annoyed that every single time a woman has to be in danger or anything, any guy who's not a good guy has to try to pull his pants down every time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
To be fair, she did invite him into the hot spring.
I mean, yes, she did.
She does say that a lot. She said that a lot. That's a catchphrase, though. That's a catchphrase. Would you like to join?
Yeah, it's just it happened in Trigun. It happens in every show. Now, like I remember when I tried to write a book once, and I basically did exactly like woman in danger, dude's probably going to try to do some sexual assault, and I feel real bad about it now because I'm like that is some lazy writing, and I'm not a writer, so boom. It's too easy. It's like, well, it's a woman, so if a man's around, he's gonna bet. Yeah, it's lazy writing. So, and I think they do it a lot. It's like a trope, but it really is terrible trope.
It really is.
You know, it's like, if I may, it's like if every movie that starred black people had to be about slavery. I'd be like, no, I'm done with this. I'm done with this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. We have, to be serious, we have had Black Panther. I'm good. We can have a slave movie every 10 years. I want like 20 Black Panther movies or their equivalent. I just want movies where black people do cool stuff. Because
shout out to The Harder They Fall, because that was
a good movie.
That was a good movie.
I just found that movie. I mentioned it to Zane, and I'm like, have you seen this? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, I gotta watch this. It is a good movie. I'm sorry I blew out everybody's ears just now. That is a good movie.
Gonna watch it, and also love Us and what is his name? Keegan Michael, no.
Jordan
Peele. There you go. That's some.
His movies
love his movies. His movies, yes.
He's doing a lot of good movies.
Good.
Okay. So let's move on to what we didn't like. Vicky, what didn't you like?
Oh, I it it just felt dated in a way, but also it didn't. I mean, my usual main gripe is like old anime is old, and
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to digest old stuff anymore. But like, it was interesting, just not interesting enough to want me to keep watching it. Like, if it were on Toonami, I'd probably catch it every now and then just because it's something new and different from what is usually out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't see myself as like searching for this in particular. It's just you'd watch Trigun, which is more popular and a classic than
It's
Grenadier.
better. Yeah, Trigun's better. I would definitely say that this show you cannot easily find on your normal paid for, Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, wherever Crunchyroll, wherever you get your animation. It's not even on like High Dive, which is like I don't pay for High Dive, but sometimes I want to pay for High Dive. Like it's not out there because it wasn't that popular. It wasn't good. It's not good now. It's very, 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 very mediocre.
It feels like that $5 DVD
Yeah.
set you find at an anime convention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't even pay $5 for it. I wouldn't even pay $5. Like if you're bored and you want to see boobies, okay, fine.
Right. You would look at the cover and you'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. It looks as cheap as it is.
It just doesn't have the oomph that, like, maybe if they remade it in modern day with some more twists, it could be better, but it's just that.
So you want her to spend more.
No.
She said more twists, did she not, Patrick?
I think you make a good point. I would love to have more twists.
I don't. It just seemed very root.
I got it. Kim
Right.
Kardashian.
Oh my god.
Ooh, you got my attention. That's interesting.
Absolutely.
A little bit of the butt and the boobs, and she spins around, and the bullets fly out, and it's. I wouldn't watch it, but still, it would make money.
I mean, I'm actually surprised this wasn't more popular because of the acceptance of the ecchi and the female protagonist. That's kind of cool, but that's probably why it didn't make money. Is because it's a cool female protagonist, like boys.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think, again, from my recollection, the characters weren't deep. The animation was bad. The story was a ripoff of Trigun. There is nothing original in this show other than spinny boob physics. And if you've got one gimmick, is that enough for a 12-episode anime to be popular? No. Tell me one. Tell me one. Think about it. Tell me one. Patrick, what don't you like about this?
I think Vic was talking about it. Like it's super generic. It feels like any old story of, this character comes in, saves the day. Even the samurai dude is like, I didn't like. If you didn't know, watching the show, you thought he'd be a generic guy because he just seems like another like a regular dude, and you just follow the main character. Like, but obviously they need to have the male protagonist with the female lead as well. But it was like, yeah, it's kind of stems from the same idea of Vash the Stampede, where like she didn't know real danger. She's so overpowered and all these things, and I think that's kind of that overplayed character trope where like, yep, super armor, super plot armor or whatnot is nothing's gonna stop her. You don't really fear for her. Although I do, like I said, honestly, it does grab your attention with more the action and the gunplay and the spinningness. Like that does grab your attention more as a first episode. But overall, you're just like, this is what this show is. And even I was watching the preview for the second episode, I'm like, she's in the bathroom, the towel scene. I'm like, yep, it's just more of that. And yeah, I mean, the intro and the ending bath scenes all day. That's it. Onsen scenes all day. But no, it's just even though I praise the action and that it got your attention more, it's just super generic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it'll be that deep. And I feel like Trigun would be more interesting because it is trying to be more deeper. I mean, in its meanings, at least that's what it seems like. And this show is like, yeah.
It's so much. Trigun is so much better than this. So, as someone who watched the show in like 2004 or whatever, I'm like 20-ish at the time, probably. 19. I'm like 19 when this comes out. I definitely think that. Now, me personally, I'm someone who, if I'm, especially back then, if I watched an anime, I was going to finish it. Like, I did not finish stuff. Like Naruto is one of the first like big long series that I just never finished watching because I read the manga because I got tired of waiting. And that's because I was watching Naruto from 2003 until like 2000 and what? 13 or something. Like I was watching it every episode. I was watching filler. I was watching everything. And I'm like the last of the burnouts on that one. Like I don't know anyone personally who watched every episode of Naruto. I know there are people who watch the end, but I know a lot of people skip the filler. I watched that filler like it was my religion. Yeah, I just so in the past I would watch anything. I just boom. Like if I watched it, I was watching the whole thing. So I got a whole collection in my head. So I watched this 12 episodes or whatever it was. It wasn't that great. I think the ending actually sucked. I think it was one of those like it had an idea and it was like going and it was like no execution. Bad. Because I want to say that again, like Trigun, there's main character who now, unlike Trigun, like Vash is like scarred up and stuff. Like you can see he took damage. Like he paid the price for his choices. This character is meant to be a sex doll, right? So of course she doesn't have any scars or anything, to my recollection. She's basically perfect. She never gets hurt. She shoots perfect. Blah 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 blah. You know, and so she has a sister because she's a Senshi, a soldier, or whatever you want to call it. Is Senshi is soldier, right?
Yeah, soldier,
Yeah.
warrior, something like that.
Well, okay, I've always got confused. Samurai means warrior, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Senshi, no.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where multiple meanings is fine. It's
right. Japanese. I asked the question and then remembered. Oh yeah, Japanese. Anyway, Japanese is hard. Point was so in Trigun, he has his brother, and he's like the antithesis of Vash, knives. And then in this one, also, but not
really?
a biological sister. I think she's just also a warrior, but like antithesis, and she's like, I'm gonna kill everyone. And then there's like the master who I don't remember even existing. Right? Like I'm like, oh, there's a character I don't remember. Who? Like clearly plays no role in the story because I don't remember, wasn't important. Obviously wants the world to be peaceful and whatever, and teaches women how to shoot guns good. Like there's something about that in there, but I don't remember. And that's it. And it doesn't resolve. There's no real conflict. And I think the whole point is that, main character is good at killing people but doesn't want to. Another character is good at killing people and wants to, and maybe wants to kill main character. Maybe. Whose name I don't remember. Does anyone remember the main character's name?
Runusha?
All right.
No idea.
We're going to call her Ryuk. Congratulations. So, Ryuk. But anyway, yeah, it's just a very whatever show. Yeah, it's just overly concerned with boobs. And
like even as a teenager, like I would be more inclined, but I still think it would be like it's still
2 episodes.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in middle school, I played soccer, and we had some kids who were like a year older than me, and they basically what they did was they watched Baywatch for the swimsuits. That's this show. We're talking 12, 13-year-old. They just want to see the jiggly boobs and be done. And it's like, okay, that's a thing.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean
like
it's good.
right, like because as a kid, I'd be like, like if I was watching this kid, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna go watch Digimon again. It's like I'm missing some cool monsters and stuff. Let me see some transformations instead.
It's instant gratification, and so it's throwaway. It's trash. You turn it on, you're like, haha, and then you're like, okay, I'm bored. And it was a lot of like tell don't show. Like they just talk about stuff. Like when I complain about JoJo's dialogue, this is worse than that. This is just like it was a warring time. You know?
Right, yeah.
Like they took over the castle with the daimyo. We're gonna go rid him, but we can't. Like, oh, you're a senshi. Those are so powerful. Like, just show me what's happening. Like, it's just bad writing. It's bad storytelling. It's not just generic. It's boring. It's bad.
JoJo. It looked like a villain character was like straight out of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. It was. I only saw them during the opening, but I was like, "Whoa!"
Oh, the mask, the clown mask, dude,
and the curly hair, and I was like, But it doesn't. As a series, it doesn't have enough substance to.
No,
we want to watch it.
No, the music. I did not enjoy the music. It was really slow and like whatever. I was not into it at all. The opening and ending music was both just like whatever. I don't care.
It wasn't westerny enough.
It was very Japanese. It was very just like, it had the same intonation. It wasn't even like pop. It was just kind of like,
it's peaceful. Hot springs.
Sure. It was that. It was that. Oh, Patrick, you want to watch some more?
No.
Vicky?
No, definitely not.
I didn't even want it the first time, and I watched it twice, and I was like, there's so little to this that I could have just kept what I remembered in my fugue state of sickness and still talked about it.
Yeah, it's not that great. It's so much worse than Trigun. So, is this worse than Goku-sen?
Goku-sen I would actually watch. Like, it's interesting. It's Goku-sen has hooks.
Yeah.
This hookless.
This is essentially. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like there's more heart in Goku-sen, even though the argument was you root for the main character, and it's just like, she's gonna succeed, but you root for more so in Great Teacher Onizuka because he's like a failure and he's always gonna mess up a lot more. But even with Goku-sen, like, yeah, you still are rooting for this character, like, hopefully everything goes well. And the students, the cast, the side characters, I guess, is also a big part of it. Like, there's only one side character, which is the samurai, and you're like, why is he even joining her? It doesn't make any sense, right?
It doesn't.
That's it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, she's joining him. He's joining her because nonsense. That's about it, I guess.
It was weird when he was like, "I'm joining you." I was like, "Why?"
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I want to conquer the world. Who said I wanted to conquer the world? I just told you I want to solve problems with a smile. I was waiting for her to say something. She said nothing.
Though I would still cosplay as this character, like get a blonde wig and a corset. It's a look for sure.
For sure,
you know what?
It is a look.
It's a look, but it's not even an interesting like design. Like it's just red and white and like a cowboy hat.
The side holster is the big piece, where it's like it's like a low holster.
Sure. Yeah, because before we watched it, I was looking at the manga for this, and I'm like, it's actually kind of a super boring, like clothing. Like it's too it's too simple. Like not to knock an artist, but it didn't have anything interesting about it. Like the samurai guy had like an eclectic, like samurai armor thing going on. And while again, not a particularly cool looking character, it had like thought in there. While hers is just like, I'm gonna wear what's that character? Mai from King of Fighters. I'm gonna wear that
Ooh.
with a cowboy hat. And then maybe I'll wear some low cut, what do they call them? Those shorts, the jeans, booty shorts or whatever. I don't know.
Daisy Dukes.
Daisy Dukes, thank you. Maybe I'll throw on some Daisy Dukes and be done. Yeah, I don't know. Boring design choices.
It's not. It wouldn't be a popular cosplay, but it's a look.
It's
Oh, it would be.
I mean,
It'd be popular.
Look,
You get the eyes for sure.
Stuff be popping, and lots of people would be looking. But they'd be like, "What anime is that? Grenadier? What?"
You should just say, "I'm from Trigun. I'm Lady Vash." Like,
Lady
oh, that's a good one,
Well,
Lady Vash.
That's what I would hope is like by cosplaying as Rue something, you meet up with a Vash, and then you can have like a shoot off.
That sounds cooler than it would be because nobody.
It sounds cooler than the anime.
Nobody would know. I would.
No one would know.
I would probably not even recognize. Like, what is this? Huh? I remember an anime where a blonde chick pretended to be Vash, but who's this? I don't know. It's just yeah.
The key would be if you can reload it. Reload.
Oh my goodness!
Guns, like
all I would want. Look, and I'm serious. If someone was to do this, I do want them to have like bullets pop out of their cleavage. I don't care if it's the most fake-looking mechanical thing ever. I want that. They don't need to reload anything. They just need them to go. It'd be hilarious. Ooh, and it's the future, so you could definitely like have a toy gun with like you could get like you could make it wireless, and the gun trigger could activate a wireless trigger to send to your device in your cleavage to pop out bullets. And it would like open up this. Oh my god, I'm not even remotely skilled enough to build that, but it would be awesome.
All for this one reference. All for this one reference of the show. Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes. Yes. These are things I want and will never have. This is great. That if someone did it and did it well, right, and got it on camera, the viewership for this anime would skyrocket.
100%.
It would get on the internet. Someone would be like, "What is that?" And then be like, someone would finally be like, "Grenadier," and then people would just find it and be like, "Bruh."
The resurgence of Grenadier.
Yeah, 20 years later, the manga volumes just through the roof. Like just volume 1, Grenadier. Just volume 2, nobody buys it.
It just feels like an anime that should be remade with a better premise. Because I feel like it could do some like good viewership, but it's just as it is. It's just like
I would rather just take the only cool thing Grenadier introduced to the world, even though it's stupid cool, and just do a different show entirely. Why remake something not good? Just make something else that's good, and then add a stupid cool thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have that mechanic be in a video game before I'd want an anime with that in it. Because that would be actually cooler and less stupid because it's just a video game versus like an anime character.
It does feel like a break power, like you're reloading and then you just unload.
Yep. Patrick, get it done.
Hey, there's a game where you play as lady samurais, and they're in bikinis.
Oh,
and the reason why they do that is because when you cut the zombies or the enemies, the blood goes into your bodies, and that makes them stronger. The blood, yes, the blood on the bodies is what gives them the power, I think, or something like that. I was like, did I just make that up, or is that just an actual cool idea? Like,
I thought this was Akibara Strip.
No, that's a different one.
That's a different one.
Not to be confused with those who hunt elves.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Mm.
so Onichambara, they have 2 of those. I'm pretty sure they made a
Yeah,
sequel.
yeah. I'm sure they made a sequel.
It's just about girls with like killing zombies in a mall, so they get blood on them, so they can do more murder.
Yep.
I never played it. I recognized it was dumb. Definitely, they had a moment where I was like, maybe I do, and I was like, never mind. I don't have money for that. But then Akiba Strip, and I think they made a sequel to that one too. It's like a dude goes to high school and has to take off girls' clothes for something. But then it's like there's something about bubbles or hearts or something. I didn't play it either, but
Right.
I remember reading about it way back when. Is it a PSP game, maybe?
Sounds familiar.
Anyway.
It's during that generation for sure.
Yeah, there's a
Back
lot
in
of
the
those.
day.
Not to mention there's Conception, which is a whole other thing.
Oh my goodness.
And they made an anime out of that.
Is that the one where the guy has to like make a lot of kids and then you can play as those kids?
You basically it's basically making your children and using them as your Pokemon.
Yes.
It's kind of ridiculous if you think about it.
Yeah, you're dungeon crawling with all your kids that you had with all of. I don't even remember how you get all those kids. And there's 2 of those games, and I guess it's not gross and creepy, but I feel like it's gross and creepy. I just don't remember why I thought that.
No, let me just say the PSP era was an interesting time. For Japanese games.
I love my PSP. It still exists. And then there's those who hunt elves, which if this podcast goes on long enough, I guarantee I will find a way to make you 2 watch it. I've mentioned those who hunt elves to the people I care about on several occasions. Let me just describe it again. So I'm sorry if I've said this to anyone who's heard this before. Those Who Hunt Elves is about 3 Japanese people who get isekai'd before isekai was a thing. They get isekai'd to another world. In that world, they find a tank that is inhabited by the spirit of a cat. So the cat tank meows when it shoots at anything or moves, and you can pet it and it purrs, and it's a cat tank.
Oh jeez.
It's a tank that looks like a tank, acts like a tank, but it has a cat in it. Cat tank. That's not the weirdest thing. It's not my favorite thing. It is one of the things in Those Who Hunt Elves. They power the tank by getting fruit that they squeeze, and it has oil in it. And that's how the tank continues to operate, even though it's possessed by a cat. Secondly, the characters are Junpei and 2 other characters whose name I don't remember because I just remember Junpei. Junpei is like a martial artist. There's an actress who's kind of a little like older, but not over the hill, but she's not like 20. And that's like a small fact of it. And he loves her. He'll do anything for her. But he's kind of a chauvinist kind of character. He's kind of dumb, but a fighter, but a chauvinist. It's like the 90s.
It's like the 90s.
90s style. Like
I'm sorry. I was like, got it. You just exactly. It's like the 90s. You know the 90s, guys. We were there.
Look, I grew up in the 90s. All right, it's solid in my mind. And then there's a younger character who reminds me of Riku from Final Fantasy 12. 12? 10. 10-2. 10 and 10-2. But I've only played 10-2. Don't at me. Anyway, so I actually don't remember her super well, but those are the 3 Japanese people. They come to this world. They get summoned. They get isekai there. And the only way for them to get back is to find these markings. The reason that happened is because when they were going to get sent back, they interrupted the casting, a la Peter Parker or Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
And so these little markings scattered all across the world, or whatever, the continent, whatever. And they are on female, I guess there's only female, elves. And they are on their skin. So there's like these tattoos that they have to lift off of these. So, hence, the story is called Those Who Hunt Elves. I love this stupid show. I love it. And so what they do is they have to go hunt elves all over. But instead of being, reasonable, they try to find out if they have it by being all sneaky, and then eventually, because I mentioned it based on what we were just talking about, Junpei rips off their clothes.
That's how you
He has
find
to
it.
see them if they're naked, and if they're naked, they can check to see, hey, do you have the thing? And then it's like, oh, you don't? We're leaving.
Wow.
So, I have not gotten to what I love best about this show because it's dumb and it's amazing and I love it. And I know I've shared this with you.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I've made people watch this. So, there's one episode where they find this animal. It's all white. This animal is one of many, and they find themselves going to the place where this animal is from. And this animal, which is all white, basically comes from what I will call, which the dub even may have called, TP Mountain.
Got it.
So, this world doesn't have toilet paper, except it does. So, Patrick, where do you think the toilet paper comes from?
Animals.
Yes.
Oh.
There's a little white bear character. Tiny mascot.
Hold on. Does he poop toilet
He
paper?
poops.
Okay, there you go. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute.
His name is Pichan, and it's hilarious.
That's all I know of the show.
Yeah, that's all I know. I was like, how did I know that?
You're welcome. You're welcome, Pichan.
His name is Pichan.
I fucking love it. It's just a weird show. It's a fun show. It's kind of a monster of the week show, except the monster is you, the main characters, stripping off random people who don't want their clothes taken off for very good reason, because these people want to go back to Japan. It is wild, and I think it's like 24 episodes, 2 seasons, like split 12 and 12. And I bought it on DVD from freaking Barnes and Noble, of all places, like 4 years ago, and I was so happy.
Ooh,
that
dang.
sounds recent.
Yeah, I was about to say that's recent for that anime. Find that one.
Anime is not new. It is not new at all. But yeah, those who hunt elves, I freaking enjoy that show. It is a lot of. It's just a silly ass show. I don't drink, but it would be a great show to drink to. I think if you can drink responsibly, I think that's a show to watch. Let's just chill out and watch this stupid ass show. Yeah, those who hunt elves. It's a trip. All right, so Vicky, back to you. Have you thought of an episode or a show that has a gimmick that's worth watching? That's 12 episodes long.
Well, I don't know.
I already know
the 12 episodes part, but I'm gonna switch gears and throw us into a magical world of magical girls with Futariwa Pretty Cure. Yep.
Yes.
It's not my usual genre, but we have to see the beginning to see where it ends up, which is Magica Madoka Magi.
You gotta put it in front of you so you can read it, because saying Puella Madoka Magica is really hard.
It really is, and it's so many M's. But to get to Madoka, we gotta start with Pretty Cure.
We really do. Those mascot characters.
Which Pretty Cure? There's a lot of Pretty Cures. Which one?
The original.
1982.
1982?
I don't know.
Ooh. No, wait
I
a minute.
didn't know that Vicky hates old anime.
It's just, my eyeballs are accustomed to better and brighter.
Okay, that is the best argument I've heard anyone say for why they don't want to watch old stuff. My eyeballs are accustomed to the now stuff. That is the single most honest reason that you don't want to watch old stuff. Because everybody's like, oh, it looks bad. It didn't look bad when you were 5. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. My brain has, advanced.
But yes, I can agree. Watching GTO today doesn't feel as good as if I watched it when it came out.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean it was bad then.
That's all it is.
Vicky dropped the gem. I need to digest what she just said. My eyeballs are accustomed to the new things, to better things.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, we'll watch some Pretty Cure, which I'm sure is very bright and shiny and girly, and I'm gonna have to subject us all to it.
All right. So according to this Wikipedia, starting in February 2004 with Futari wa Pretty Cure, and I want to be very clear, Futari.
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 Yeah,
wa.
not another word us of culture would recognize.
All right. The cultured one will say it's talking about two people, us. We are Pretty Cure. We are Pretty Cure. The two of us are Pretty Cure, and which are the two main characters.
Hootie Cootie. Oh man, I'm just gonna keep reading this and just laugh in my head. Hootie Kuya.
This is the series that gets referenced in a lot of different other anime. Like you can see the figures or just the name of the show. It's a staple in some circles.
Okay, so for the record, we are using Pretty Cure as a precursor to Madoka.
Yes.
Why do you choose Pretty Cure versus, say, 1990 whatever Sailor Moon?
Well, Sailor Moon seems like, that's the generic, everyone goes for Sailor Moon. Which I guess you could. Sailor Moon might be a better, precursor because you got the animals that convinces the girls to be magical girls, but Sailor Moon's over and done and dusted. Let's go Pretty Cure, which is similar, where you've got the girls and an animal convinces them to be magical, and they have to do certain things to prevent the darkness from spreading. So it's a good match. Plus, when are we ever going to watch Pretty Cure?
Yeah, it's actually I haven't actually seen. I've seen these characters a lot, but never actually dived into this show. Another deep cut is we could have used Wonder Egg Priority as a modern Madoka or something like that, because same idea of magical girl. The bug offers them powers, and it's also more of a darker tone, so it's kind of more in line with Madoka, but Madoka is just the twist is just there. So, and you don't expect that at all.
Madoka is just amazing. So yeah, we're gonna see where it started, ish, and see where it ends.
Well, I know that at some time I have watched Pretty Cure. I don't know when, but there is a not zero chance that I actually watched the first one.
Did you watch?
I remember that the dub was not terrible, but it was bad. I remember the dub was bad, not great.
Did you happen to watch Glitter Force?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Which is a Pretty Cure adaptation. And I've definitely seen more than one episode of that.
There are 19 main series Pretty Cure.
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many.
Yeah, just seeing so many of it, Pretty Cure is just a staple for some people, not for me. It's gonna be way too moe. I'm sure of it.
This is 2004. I don't think we can call it moe yet. It's not allowed. Anime rules.
That is what we will watch. Futari wa Pretty Cure. And then,
so what you're saying is you can't think of a show that has one hook that's worth watching with 12 episodes.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
Obviously, I gotta stop using the reference by episode 2. Greatest hook ever. The greatest hook ever. But
that was in my head, but I didn't want to bring it up.
God damn it! We're not going to talk about it anymore. But that hook, I mean, come on.
You brought this on yourself,
memory.
That is
the ability by healing. I mean, you make healing the best, strongest, and you could time travel, but rewrite.
Okay.
Man, I'm done.
Who watched all of the episodes?
No one did. No one does. And no one watched all of it, and no one will admit to watching all of it.
I watched all of it and I hope there's a sequel.
You like skipped through the last episode or something.
No, I watched it.
It took you how long to watch that whole show?
It did take a while. It did take a while.
So what I'm hearing is that the one hook that you say wasn't actually that good of a hook. You eventually got around to it, like calling back that dude you didn't want to talk to, but you're hungry. So you go ahead and call him so he'll take you on a date and feed you. Like that's what you did.
Whoa, calling out. Big shots.
To get
boom. Boom.
Wow.
For the record, that was a non-gendered approach to that statement. I don't care who you are, you did that. If it took you a year to watch one show that's 12 episodes long, you didn't like it that much.
It took me it's a couple months. And
it didn't take you a couple. It took you like 3 seasons. We were in like November when you finished that.
No way.
Yeah,
like a while.
Yeah.
But still, I would watch a sequel because it was just a good plot. It's like when you play a hentai game and you skip through the mosaics to get to the plot.
All right, Vicky. That's not true for most people.
Like that one game with the guy and the monsters, and if he sleeps with them, he dies.
Oh Lord.
Which one is that, Vicky? Which one is that? Which one is that again, Vicky?
I always look it up and I always forget. It's like Monster.
It's not Monster Musume, is it?
It might be. Oh. No, Monster Musume isn't.
That one's a wholesome show. Relatively.
I'm gonna look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a song based on it and it's really good called Touch Fluffy Tail.
It's time to stall while she uses the internet. All right, so Patrick, yes. I pitched you an anime that we should watch. I don't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was?
Sledgehammer Girl or something like that?
No.
What was it? Gosh.
It was another like horror time travel-y. It was basically like Higurashi, but not Higurashi.
Was it
that's why I sent it to you, because I'm like,
yeah,
Patrick will probably want to watch this, and I think I want to watch it just a little bit. Because we've basically skipped out on the half of the season because we really like Spy Family, and we were like, fuck it. Nothing can beat Spy Family.
That's very true.
Spy Family's so good.
Game. Yeah, it's still good. Are you still watching it? Are you keeping up?
I am on like episode 5 or 6. I haven't seen the newest one.
There's 9 episodes, Vicky.
Well,
there's 9 episodes, Patrick.
I know, but then the thing is, our credit card, there's something wrong with our check that doesn't, that gets canceled, and so we have to, wait for a while, a little bit longer to watch a streaming service.
Man, okay.
Is that right, Vicky?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Also, the game is Monster Girl Quest. It's amazing.
Okay.
I would play it, but it's very ecchi.
Okay. And that stops you because?
I just don't have time.
Okay. There you go. That's the real answer.
It does.
I would
take
play
a lot.
it, but I don't have time. That's the real answer. There we go. We're being honest, Vicky. Like how that other anime that we're not talking about is definitely a 10. But anyway.
9.5.
Look, Monster Girl Quest was reminded to you of that show. They're the same. They're both 10. Done. Equivalent. Polka. Equivalent exchange. Full Metal Alchemist reference. Oh, so good. Oh my god. All right. With that being said, Patrick, did you find the name of the anime?
No, I did not. I was looking through it, and I couldn't find it still. Okay,
then I have a different question. Cherry Magic, 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. Go.
I can neither. Nope, we're gonna cut this out, guys.
Editor. Look. I don't know what I was on Crunchyroll, and I was looking at
first of all,
stuff, and it said,
where'd you find that? Like, first of all,
I was
where did
on
you find that?
Crunchyroll, so it said really realistic animation, and I'm like, these are animated? They're not. They're all live action.
That's just
They
live
were
action.
they were being real silly, and so it said cherry magic, and I'm like, what the heck is cherry? Like, I couldn't read the whole title, and then I opened it, and it's obviously like a K drama. Well, it
Right.
could be Japanese, but I assume everything's a K drama, and it was like. Cherry magic, 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. And then I gotta click on this picture. It's not helping me. Come
I
on.
get the cherry magic part.
If you're still a virgin
Gotcha.
when you turn 30, you turn into a wizard. The magical power gained by 30-year-old virgin Adachi, so maybe it's not Korean, is the modest ability to read the mind of anyone he touches. And then I can't read the rest because I took a picture. So basically, he gets a really crappy power.
What? Mind reading is a great power. I would love to have mind reading.
If I have
But to have
touch
to touch
everybody I
someone?
want to mind read, that's like what do they call that? Like fake psychic power where you have to like touch coins to read it.
Psychometry?
Say that again?
Psychometry?
Is it psychometry?
Psychometry?
Psychometry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Psychometry.
Yeah.
Something like that. It sounds right.
Apparently not.
But it's not.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's basically close quarters Anya. I mean, I would love to be. I mean, being Anya to be able to mind read people is great, but the touching part of it is like that's not that difficult to get close to people.
I would never read anyone's mind if I had to.
Start going up to people and seeing how much effort it takes to touch them randomly, Patrick. And then read their minds.
Oh, come on.
I'm just
It's
saying.
not that I'm saying that it's well.
I'm just
come
saying.
on, guys.
I'm just saying.
Look.
Why is this video private? What the hell? This is dumb.
Oh, what we're looking at?
I'm trying to find this anime. Oh, here it is. Summertime Render.
Oh.
Yeah. Summertime Render. I just sent you the name. I didn't send like a picture. That's half the reason I didn't notice it.
Oh, got it.
But yeah, Summertime Render. You looked into it at all?
No, I haven't. But
okay.
I mean,
well, it's new, so I think it's a Patrick. I think Patrick will like it. I think we'll all probably like it, but I don't know.
I'll take a look into it.
It's definitely more horror than not. But I was thinking, since we're getting near to the end of the season, because I think the next season's starting up in the next month or so, we want to look at anything we might want to watch this season or previous seasons that we were like on the fence, like Osama, Ranking the King, so Osama King. I think Summertime Render would be cool. There was a isekai anime that I was watching where they kill the main character. They kill the first isekai protagonist immediately, and then they can't kill the next isekai protagonist, and that's the story. And I'm like, oh shit, it was actually kind of interesting. I watched like two or three episodes of that. It was all right. But yeah, if there's anything else, any more, we've watched a lot of stuff this season that is more Vicky style, haven't we?
My style?
Yeah. We watched the two dudes get isekai'd. We watched what was the other one?
Other two dudes.
The other two dudes read manga.
Yeah, read. That sounds like
read. Right.
Hey, those two guys are reading manga. And then we kind of diverted into this little 6-part series. But
right.
Yeah, of the new stuff, we've watched a little more Vicky stuff lately, and then we watched Spy Family. Yeah. So, yeah, we got a couple more weeks before the next thing comes out, because if we're at 9 this last Saturday, we've got at least 3 more weeks. So, end of June should be the end of the season, and July will start the next season. So, we should start looking at new stuff if we want to do new stuff, or some stuff from the last 2 or 3 seasons. Obviously, we skipped out on plenty of things every season. So, keep an eye out if there's anything else, because we got 2 more episodes of this, of our little series, and then we can get back on our train, or I can come up with another idea of stuff to watch.
We'll find some from the new seasons, upcoming season. Lots of good goodies to cover.
And as always, if somebody's got a suggestion, I know Zane's always got at least one suggestion. I just never remember, and he never writes it down or posts it on YouTube or whatever. So that being said, what is our social media presence looking like?
You can find us on YouTube at Taku Katsu Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Taku Katsu. You can email us otakukatsupodcast@gmail.com and listen to us on iTunes and Podbean at Otaku Katsu Podcast.
And yeah. So this week we watched Grenadier, a show about somebody who didn't throw bombs but has big ass titties. And lets bullets fly out of them so they can catch them in the air and shoot people. I have been your primary host, the Osen. And this is Patrick.
I am the samurai hiding in the onsen.
And this is your cosplay queen, Vicky.
I'll be the smiling Senshi just because it's a look. It's a look.
Look.
It's a look.
You're going to get all the looks. Some will be jealous, and some will be thirsty.
Both are good. Wait.
It's all good.
Will you join me?
Ooh. Power move.
Power move.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.